Yes, sir. Welcome everybody to the Dream Wager. Today is Monday, June 5th, 2023, episode 276. As always, I'm your host, D-Rock, and joining me, as always, my partner in crime, our NBA guru. And we have a series now, Elvis, 1-1. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, Dylan. Got out of work a little late. Apologize for being a little tardy, people, but we back at it.
Yeah, no problem there. But Elvis, we got a series here, kid. 1-1, going back to the 305. What did you make of what did you make of game two?
Dill, to be honest, I thought the game was going to get a little out of hand, especially in that second quarter when Denver was up 15 points. But give credit to Miami coming in and just not taking an ass whooping. Coming in, being resistant, and putting on a run. Dill, I think it was a solid team effort. Gabe Vincent had himself a game. He was a team high with I think 23 points. Bam, another solid game.
Yeah.
Little Jimmy.
He's
I wouldn't say Jimmy buckets in the fourth quarter, but we got a little sample size of Jimmy.
I would say he hasn't had the two good games, but he has had Jimmy buckets baskets late in the game.
He has moments, though, but we haven't seen Jimmy buckets. I'm gonna say since game 4.
Game 5, yeah. And I read a report. I don't know how accurate it is, and I don't really want to get too much into it or using it as an excuse, but apparently his father's really not doing well.
Yeah, I report as well. And it might be, it might be in the back of his mind, and that's why you could see it on the floor that his mind is tending somewhere else. And, it's okay.
But that's understandable.
I think the biggest reason why the Heat won, starting Kevin Love, though.
Yes.
I believe when they started Kevin Love, at first it caught him off guard. And second, Aaron Gordon was basically a no-show in the first quarter. Like, we saw him in game 1 give you 12 first quarter points and then finish the game with 16. Yesterday, it was 9. Kevin Love actually handled that. So the fact that, instead of, Denver coming out with a hot start, you get Max Strus come out and give you 12 first quarter points instead of Aaron Gordon give you 12.
That was big.
I understand everything fourth quarter wise, third quarter wise, but I think that right there was a huge difference in the game, and not a lot of people are going to talk about it, Dale. But give credit to Miami; they played great. And another thing, Dale, before I switch it over to you, do you know in 2 fourth quarters in Denver, Miami has won the fourth quarter 66-45.
Yeah, it's a good point. I was going to bring that up. That's 2 fourth quarters where they've kind of take their foot off the gas a little bit. And, we said, hey, can the Heat build off that fourth quarter momentum of game 1? And that's, I don't know if that's what they did, but they definitely came on late because at one point, Denver was up 15, 16 points again, and we thought it was going to be a blowout, but here comes the fourth quarter. Thought you made a great point. Kevin Love just completely took away Aaron Gordon from the game. I thought that was huge. Max Strus didn't let anything in game 1 bother him. He came out, shot it immediately. I thought that was big for them as well. Gabe Vincent, man, what a performance by him as well. He's just...
Dude, I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's what I've been saying. Like, I understand Denver. They're playing great. They have possibly the 2 best players on the court. But this Miami team, man,
they're full of dogs.
It's just different, man. Dylan already knows how I feel. Dylan saw what I did with Ma. I sent him a little picture last night, teased him a little. Dylan, I'm telling you right now. I'm going to let you know right now. Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked, people.
And whatever happened to Caleb Martin?
Dude, to be honest,
that's 2 games in a row now.
There's a report that he's been having headaches, illness, not COVID, but something around those areas. Hey, he might 5,280 feet might just be a little too much for the boy. That's what it looks like, because the fact that he gave you game 1 3 points, and then game 2 another 3 points. He has 6 points combined in this series. So yeah, the finals is tied 1-1. Another thing. I might be the only dude to have the balls to say this, but I think Denver's in trouble. When you have Caleb Martin, who I believe should have won Eastern Conference Finals MVP, the Larry Bird Award. He only has 6 points so far in the series. And guess who's coming in game 3, Dale? I'm not sure how many minutes he will, but Miami Heat regular season scoring leader Tyler Hero will be back in the lineup in game 3. So
I just don't know how that's going to help
You're
them.
going to get a Caleb Martin. I'm not saying we're going to get the guy we saw in the Eastern Conference Finals, but we're going to get a better version of what we saw recently. And we're going to get Tyler Hero back as well, Dale. I'm saying.
Yeah, but Tyler Hero, Tyler Hero hasn't played in over a month, so I don't know how he's going to play.
Still,
he might ruin it.
He still was their best scorer on the team. In regular season, he was their highest point total.
Yeah. But there's going to be some rust. He's not going to come in.
I'm not saying he's about to play 35 minutes. All I'm saying is, Dill, me and you both could agree he could hit you with 10 points the way Duncan Robinson hit you with 10 points in a minute in the fourth quarter yesterday.
He's the one who turned it all around. Duncan Robinson in the fourth. When he's mean mugging you, and I know he practiced that mean mug, when he's mean mugging you, it's over for you. When Duncan Robinson is torching you up, that's when you know it's over. Jamal Murray, awful game. Jamal Murray, he did come on a little late in the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter gave his team hope. Remember, he basically was the heart and soul of that 12-2 run to end the game.
Yeah,
and he just came up
and he had a shot at the end.
Great shot. I know the big question mark is should have been a timeout call to end the game.
I like it. Let him play.
To be honest, though, Miami Heat is one of the best half-court defenses in the league. You don't want that smoke with about 8 seconds left. I think it was the right decision dribbling the ball up. I know, in 2020 hindsight, after he misses a shot, you should have called a timeout. No, I think it was the right play.
Yeah, I thought it was a good call too.
Whatever you were going to throw up in that timeout, I don't think you would have got a better look. You had Jamal Murray and Joker, your two best players, in a pick and roll switch. Yeah. You could have. And Murray had to take the three because they were down 3. I guarantee they were down 2. Joker would have drove it to the lane.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the decision to let the boys play at the end. But honestly, on a serious note, I want to get to Jokic in a sec, but I think the reason they lost, KCP was garbage. And what's his name? Michael Porter Jr. Thank you. He was god fucking awful. 5 points? That is just unacceptable. I don't care. You give me 6 rebounds. That was god awful. Those two combined, oh my god, it was atrocious watching them play. Jokic, he did his thing scoring, but I know a lot of people, especially Spoelstra, he came out and said, we took his passing away. He only had 4 assists, but I think that was the problem. He didn't have his hands on everything.
I'm not gonna say they took his passing away. I just feel like KCP and Michael Porter Jr. They just missed a lot of shots. Even Aaron Gordon, he had a couple wide open threes. He just passed them up or missed them.
Well, if you think back to last year when the Warriors knocked off the Nuggets, what did they do? They made Jokic a scorer. They made him a scorer last night, and even he had 41, they still lost the game. So when he has his hands on everything, passing 10 assists, they're in good hands to win the game. But when 7 for 15, Jamal Murray, he came on late, but overall he started off kind of slow. 1 for 4 for Caldwell Pope. Michael Porter 2 for 8, 1 for 6 for 3. Bruce Brown had a pretty good game defensively off the bench. I thought he had some good minutes. Christian Braun too. He came off with some energy as well. But I thought it was a good game. The game does go over the total. I hit on the total. I hit on Jokic point prop over 27. Michael Porter didn't get the rebounds. He couldn't do anything right. So I go 2-1 on game 2. How did you do with your bets?
I went 1-3. Dill got the +8.5, +9. I think it was the +8.5. Jimmy Buckets went under, and Caleb Martin, he went under once again. I thought he was gonna break out. He couldn't. Dill. Hopefully back in Miami. He will. I'm not sure I'm gonna bet it, but let's look into it.
Yeah, I think that's a look moving forward. Jimmy's point prop under. He just doesn't look like the same player from last series. So I might be looking towards that. I was actually gonna take it game 2, but then when you said you're on the over, I was like, I can't do that. But Overall 1-1 going back to the 305. Game is tomorrow, so we got some time to talk about it. But overall weekend was very well. USFL Houston Gamblers, they win close one by Pittsburgh 20-19. They didn't get the cover, but wise enough, Elvis, you did take them on the money line. So big win for Houston. Birmingham Stallions, they didn't cover, so we should have taken the +6. But the over did hit for us. Birmingham wins 27-24 against the Philadelphia Stars. They best team in the league, 6-2 right now, sitting on top of first place in their division. Jersey Generals, they're garbage, 2-6. They lose again. Memphis, they've rattled off 4 wins in a row. Now 25-16, they beat New Jersey Generals. And then New Orleans Breakers beat Michigan Panthers 24-40. They didn't cover, but it was a very good weekend. Overall, I went 2-1 in the USFL. How did you do, kid?
Dill, 1-2. Dill, Generals fuck me, and then 2-1. I'm sorry, New Orleans money line and Gamblers money line. So Dill, I was questionable with laying those points, and look, it kind of paid off. A little chalky, but it paid off.
Yes. Are you done backing the New Jersey Generals?
I might be, Dill. I'm not gonna say just yet, but USFL is a little different from the beginning of the season. I think all teams kind of evened out. Every team is pretty solid. Even, I didn't think the Philadelphia Stars was going to be this good. I didn't think Joe Boats was going to be this good. So I think now it's a little more competitive football, and I think we got to pay attention to that.
Yeah, 4-4. Dallas is in first place, sitting at 500. The North is the worst division, obviously, but the Stallions in the South, 6-2. Showboats 5-3. Everyone is 5-3 in the South besides the Stallions. That's the best division. And then you have Pittsburgh 2-6, Generals 2-6. So all the powerhouses is in the South. So we got about 2 weeks left into the playoffs. But you're right. I think everything's starting to even out a little bit. But I would argue definitely more talent in the USFL than the XFL, correct?
Yeah, Doug. It's definitely and you know what it is. There's a lot of ex players on there. A lot of more D1 athletes on this league. So I think eventually the XFL will balance out. Remember, this is the second year of the USFL. Let them get a year under the belt. You're gonna see a much more talent side of the XFL because you got a lot of players like, man, should I even is that gonna be a bad look? Trying to make it to the league, or is it going to help me? A lot of players probably have that question, like, is it going to help me, or is it going to hold me back?
Even coaching, you got from Memphis the head coach Todd Haley, who is he's a Super Bowl winning champ on a team one time. So Todd Haley's a great offensive mind. In Pittsburgh, they have the best. Memphis, excuse me, they have the best special teams. That's how they're winning a lot of these games as well. So you get ex NFL coaches in there, you're gonna do wonders. So, but yeah, overall great weekend for the brand. Elvis, let's get on to these games. Only 7 games. 1 game is already starting. Your Boston Red Sox are looking like they're about to lose 4-1 at home to the Tampa Bay Rays. Did you guys split any of the games yesterday?
Getting swept. There was a bad luck,
And now you're coming back to the Bronx. Big series. You gonna go to a game?
No. I think they coming to us.
No. It's in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Yeah, and both series because I'm going to a game in August in the Bronx as well.
I know in August I'm going to the Bronx. I'll probably go to that Sunday night 1:35 game. I think August 20th.
That's Sunday. That's the game I'm going to.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Okay,
I'm gonna take my grandpa.
See it. But yeah, all right. Let's get to these games. The first one, since it already happened, we'll go to Philadelphia. The Phillies, they are hosting the Detroit Tigers. Phillies almost a $3 favorite, -255, -1.5 is at -137. Over under is at 8.5. If you want to take the Detroit Tigers, +210, +1.5 is at +114. Is there any value here you could get on the Philadelphia Phillies, Elvis?
To be honest, probably a prop, but I think the best plays in this game, they'll got to be Detroit +1.5 at +115, Dill. At the end, they understand Philly should win this matchup, but would it shock you, Dill, if it's a 5-4 game? It wouldn't. It wouldn't, Dill. So I think that's the play. I think you got to lean Detroit. That's my lean. Detroit +1.5 at +115.
Yeah, I can't lay $2 over $2 with the Phillies right now. They've lost 4 of their last 5. They barely snuck out a win against the Nationals. I can't back the Tigers either, especially with Joey Wentz on the mound. I kind of like the under when it was at 9. Both teams are really not scoring a bunch of runs. Tigers, they've scored 10 runs in their past 5 games, and they only hit 225 off of righties. And I'm not a big fan of Aaron Nola as well. So if anything, like Elvis said, I guess Tigers plus 1.5, or I would lean towards the under. But yeah, it's kind of how I'd play that game. Miami Marlins hosting the Kansas City Royals. Miami minus 162, plus 136 for the Kansas City Royals. Over under is at 7.5. Elvis, any play in this one for you?
Nah, I think Miami is the play here, Joe, but I'm not gonna advise anyone to lay it on the run line, even though it's Kansas City on the road, Dill. Yeah, at plus 125, it is tempting, Dill, but I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, Miami should win this game. Kansas City's probably the second worst team besides Oakland, but they should win this game. I don't know. I just don't want to play minus 162, especially with Garrett on the mound. They do hit righties really well, the Marlins. So maybe an over, but that's kind of the only really way I'd lean with this game. Don't want to touch either side. But a game I will touch: Pittsburgh Pirates hosting
you gonna touch it?
Yeah, easy money. Minus 178 with Pittsburgh on the money line, plus 110, plus 110, excuse me, for the Pirates on the run line, plus 150 for the Oakland Athletics, plus 1.5 is at minus 128. Over under is at 9. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Pirates on the run line plus 110. As long as we're getting plus money here, I think that's a solid bet. A's, like I said, they're struggling. Worst team in the league, 2-8 in their last 10. They lost 3 straight. Pirates, they've won 5 in a row. They just swept the Cardinals. They're good at home, while the A's are just 5-24 on the road. And I like what I've seen from Johan Odovedo these past few games. He hasn't allowed more than 3 runs in the past 4 games. And JP Sears, he's also been serviceable in the month of May, but I just think the Pirates are a way better team. They're the hotter team right now. They rake against lefties. I think they win comfortably. So I'll take the Pirates on the run line here. How about you?
Dude, I'm gonna stay away from it, but I'm gonna be honest. You got me. You persuade me to go with the Pirates on this one, Dill. So I'm gonna lean with the Pirates on the run line as well, Dill. I gotta agree with everything. You persuade me. I ain't
go. Good. That's my job. Let's go out to the 6th side. Toronto Blue Jays hosting the Astros. Minus 118 for the Blue Jays at home. Plus 100 even money for the Astros. Over under is at 10. Me, my dog of the day. Give me the fucking Astros here on the road. I just don't understand how Alek Manoah is the favorite at all. The Blue Jays, they're playing well. They just swept the Mets, but Manoah at home has not been good. 0-3 with a 6.83 ERA. He's literally lost all 6 starts in the month of May. He hasn't gone past the 5th inning since late April and just gives up too many walks for my liking. And on the other side, Brandon Beek, he hasn't been the best, but he's only had 1 rough outing on the road, and that was against the Brewers. But other than that start, he hasn't allowed more than 2 runs on the road. So I think he can have success against this Blue Jay lineup that hasn't really blown any team away. Yeah, they swept the Mets, but it was all close games. So I think the Astros, excuse me, have actually been the better team. So I'm going to take them at even money here. How about you?
Dill, I don't want to go against you, Dill, but I gotta lean with Toronto in this one, Dill. Every time I back Houston, they end up fucking me, Dill. So I'm not gonna back Houston out of the faith for you, out of love and respect for you, Dill. Because every time I do it, they screw me. So I'm gonna lean with Toronto, Dill. I'm gonna roll with Toronto. It wouldn't shock me if Toronto wins this game.
All right, let's go to the next game. Cincinnati Reds hosting the Milwaukee Brewers. Reds with Abbott on the mound, minus 126, plus 108 on the other side for the Milwaukee Brewers. Over under is at 9.5. I do see some 10s out there, so shop around. I'm actually gonna go with the under 10. I got it at even money. I think you could lay a little juice right now, but yeah, I like the under, man. I just 10 seems a lot. Julio Teheran, he's only had 2 starts, but they've been really good. Only 1 run given up in 11 innings. I think he could limit the Brewers bats who, they've seemed to come alive here against the Reds, but I think Abbott, he could He could go pretty solid a few innings as well. So maybe a first 5 under, but I know the Red Great American Ballpark is a hitter's ballpark, but I think we see a lower scoring game. So give me the under 10 here. How about you?
Still, it's gonna be a first, hopefully not a last. Shut out my boy Joey D. Give me the Brewers.
Wow.
Money line plus 105. Hopefully, don't fuck me later, though. I think they can sneak one out against the Reds. At the end, they Cincinnati. Brew Crew. I understand. Might fuck me later, though, but I'm gonna roll with the Brewers at plus 105.
Okay, and then 2 games left on the board. We'll go out to Texas Rangers hosting the St. Louis Cardinals. Rangers minus 142 on the money line, plus 120 for the Cardinals. Over under is at 10. You learned your mistake last time. Are you continue to back Adam Wainwright?
Nah, Dill. If anything, the play for me in this game is gonna be first 5 Rangers at minus 102, half a run. If you get the Rangers half a run at minus 102, Dill. I think that's the play. As long as they're up, you're winning this bet, Dill. And at minus 102, I think that's great value.
Yeah, I like that play. I took the Rangers early in the day at minus 120 on the money line. I like that play. Excuse me. I also like the Rangers team total. I see it at 4.5. That's very disrespectful. That's very low against Wainwright, who
Legend.
he might be a legend back when we were in high school, not anymore. He's been awful. Rangers, they're the second best team in the league right now. They're 9-1 in their past 10. Cardinals 4-6. They just got swept by the Pirates. I can't back Wainwright here. He's not pitching good. The Cardinals lost 7-0 in his last start to the Royals. Wainwright, he gives about 4 to 5 runs up a game. So I know people might not be high on Martin Perez, and I understand why, but he does give up a lot of hard contact, but those starts have been on the road. At home, he's a much better pitcher. 1.93 ERA, just 4 runs given up in 18 innings. I think this is a good spot for him. Maybe get his confidence back a little bit. Cardinals struggling, so I agree. I like the first 5 minus a half. I also like team total. I'm just gonna all be on the the Rangers. That's my lock of the day. And now we'll go to our last game in beautiful San Diego. Padres hosting the Chicago Cubs. Padres minus 172 on the money line. Minus 1.5 is at plus 116 on the other side. Your boy Kyle Hendricks plus 144 on the money line for the Cubs. Over under at 8.5. Taking a plus price with Hendricks.
Dill, this is another one where I see the first 5. Dill, I'm gonna lean the first 5. Honestly, I'm gonna take it. You know what? Kyle Hendricks on the mound. Dylan knows it. I've been profitable with the boy for the past 2 years. Only real guy. Him and Blackburn, only dude have really been profitable in the major leagues. And so I'm going to take Chicago's first 5 plus a half a run, Dill. Could we be tied through 5? I think so. Give me Kyle Hendricks on the mound. I think he throws 6, 7. As long as he's in the mound through 5, we in the money.
I like it. I actually like the under too. I mean, I can't back Blake Snell at this price. I mean, I wish I got a little more money, like a plus 155, plus 160. Then I'd love to back the Cubs at that number. But Blake Snell at home this season, 1-4 with a 5.68 ERA, 16 runs given up in 25 innings. Not someone you want to back on the other hand. Kyle Hendrick, he is making his first start on the road. He wasn't his first start wasn't the best, but he did follow up against a very nice outing against the Tampa Bay Rays. 5 innings, only 1 run given up. The Cubs did win that game as well. So I think Kyle Hendricks can build off that last start, maybe limit the bats. I can see it being like a 1-1 type, 0-0 type game through 5. So I do like that play as well. But I just don't see a bunch of scores, a bunch of runs being scored here. So I'll take the under 8.5.
Need that, Dill. 0-0 through 5. Need that.
0-0 through 5. Elvis, good luck on the diamond. Before we get to the hardwood and we preview game 3, let me tell you guys about our sponsor. We're brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys or Nelderberry watching Game 3 of the NBA Finals, it doesn't matter. Our flavors pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila. for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, Elvis, let's get to game 3. It's not out today, but there are odds out right now. Miami still home puppies, plus 2.5, plus 120 on the money line. Denver minus 142 on the road, minus 2.5. Total 214.5. Now, I don't need before we get to your predictions, how do you think this, because now obviously the Miami Heat have the momentum coming back home. What do you think the momentum is going to carry over before you give your play? How do you see this game going?
How do I see it going, Dill? With the momentum shifting, Dill, I do think Miami's a little bit of control. If I'm Denver, I'm not really hitting the panic button because we've seen them, lose 2 straight in Phoenix and then come home and just dominate. So, do I believe their backs are against the wall? No, not really. But I do think Miami has a little better momentum. I think, like I said, Dill, earlier, I just feel like as a team, they're playing much better. Denver got a 7-man rotation, 8-man rotation with that do Braun or Brown some nights. Miami could hit you with 6-man or 9-man rotation. So and I think Coach Spo, he's the hidden gem. I know Pat Riley's up there somewhere talking in his ear, but I think Coach Spo is just pressing all the right buttons. So I think it's gonna be another grit and grind game, especially another close one, Dill. That's why I agree with the spread at 2.5. Do I agree Denver should be the favorite? No, but I expect another close one.
I agree they should be the favorite. They have been playing better basketball throughout the 8 quarters, I would argue. I don't know. I do think they have the momentum now, though. And you can't give a team life. You gotta bury them when you're up that big. You can't take your foot off the gas. They played what's a kind word that I want to say? They kind of played they didn't play up to par, I would say. They took their foot off the gas, and Miami, they seized every opportunity and they won the game. So they can't let their foot off the gas, and when they're up, they got to continue to play hard and bury this team. You can't give a team like the Heat life. And we got to stop saying, "Oh, they're the 8th seed." No, they're the second best team in the league. They're in the NBA Finals for a reason. I don't care about all this seeding shit anymore. That's irrelevant because they beat the Bucks, they beat the Heat, they beat the Celtics. They almost got eliminated in the bubble and they came back and won. So they're battle tested. This team. They have the best coach in the league, I think, right now, and he's just making adjustment after adjustment. So I think Michael Malone and Denver, they need to make some adjustments going on the road. And we've seen Denver on the road lose a few games. They lost back-to-back road games in Phoenix. Granted, Phoenix, obviously they had Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, but still, Miami's just as capable of winning. If they were able to do what Phoenix weren't able to do on the road, what do you think they'll be able to do at home? So I think it's very valid, but I agree with the line. I wound up taking the Nuggets minus the 2. I didn't get the hook. I got the 2. I'm going to lay with Denver. I think they come out. I don't think they let their foot off the gas this time, and I think they can't play around with their food anymore. So I think they're the better team. I think they'll make some adjustments, and I think we'll see a better game from Murray. So I'm going to lay the 2 with Denver. If you want to just take them on the money line, I don't mind that either, but I just think they're the better team right now. I still got hey, they needed to win a game. I took Nuggets in 5, so it needed to happen one way or the other.
Yeah,
so
both know game 2 wasn't the game, though.
No, I didn't think. I thought it was going to be in Miami, but hey, that's fine. They got to win a game someday. So still Nuggets in 5, but I'm going to take the Nuggets in game 3 minus the 2. What do you got?
Still. You know how I felt about the Nuggets all year. I picked the Nuggets to represent the West, people. You could go back and look at we've been dropping 2 episodes a week for 2 years now, people. You could go back. I picked Denver and the 76ers in the NBA Finals. I was wrong about the 76ers, people, but I did pick Denver. So I like this team all year. Still, what I saw these past, not just 2 games, Dill, the more important X factor. These past 2 fourth quarters, Dill. I can't get past the number 66-45. That's the big number. Though. Remember, they were down heading into the fourth quarter. They were down, 7, 8 points going
Yeah.
into the fourth quarter, game 2 in Denver. I think in Miami that we saw Denver. I understand they swept the Lakers. Kudos. But we've seen them lose one in Minnesota. Miami's way better than Minnesota. We've seen them get clapped in Phoenix. I think Miami could do some damage in Miami, Dill. Give me Miami Heat money line, Dill. I'm not gonna say they're gonna win the finals, Dill, but I'm almost there. Dill, I seen enough from this team. They proved me wrong against the Bucks. Remember, Dill, I kept saying minus 10.5, minus 9.5 against Miami games 3 and 4 and 5. Lost every one. I kept saying Boston should win. Boston should win. So then Miami got up 3 all, say the series is over. I was shocked that Boston won 3 straight. Dill, when it's meant to be, Dill, it just might be meant to be. I don't know if the supporting cast around Denver Nuggets could shine the way the Miami supporting cast does. Gabe Vincent. I know Caleb Martin is not playing up to par, but we saw what he did in the Eastern Conference Finals. Caleb Martin, Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson gave you 10 points in 2 minutes. Now Tyler Hero's coming back. I haven't even mentioned Bam or Jimmy Buckets. Still, I'm going to take Miami Heat on the money line on Game 3, and I'm going to take the most consistent player on the Miami Heat. Give me Gabe Vincent over 13.5 points at minus 128, and give me Gabe Vincent over 2.5 3-pointers at plus 102. He's already hit 9 3-pointers in this series, Dill, and wouldn't shock me if he hits 4 or 5 in Game 3.
I don't know. I just think Denver's they give the Miami Heat too many problems. Their length, their speed on the glass. And yeah, I get it. The fourth quarters have been concerning, but I think overall the body of work, I feel like personally I've been more impressed with what Denver's done that as opposed to
Quick
what the
question.
Heat have done. Yeah.
Are you talking overall whole playoff perspective or just what you saw games 1 and 2 in Denver?
Both. From the
That's, I think,
from the start of the playoffs when they were in the bubble, not in the bubble, in the play-in to the Timberwolves to right now, these 2 games. Everything I've seen, I've liked the body of work, and it's been more consistent for the Denver Nuggets than it has been for the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat are just a hotter team. They're just a quote unquote. I don't think they're lucky, but that's what they're categorized as, the lucky team.
I wouldn't say lucky either, Dill.
I wouldn't.
I will say Cinderella.
Yeah, they're the Cinderella team, but the Cinderella team always doesn't win.
Dill,
Cinderella didn't win in the end.
no, I understand, Dill, but could I not say the better team wins at the end? Is Miami not playing like the better overall team? Team ball, Dill. They beat them. Dill, I understand Denver's winning the rebounding. They're winning the assists. But somehow Miami's winning the game. Miami's been in each game, Dill, and that's the thing. I think Denver's going to progress just a tad, and Miami's going to play a little better. I think Jimmy Butler's going to play better. I think Caleb Martin's going to give you more than 3 points.
I think I could make the same argument that Michael Porter Jr., KCP, those guys can,
Dill,
Jamal Murray, they could have better games.
In their home court, I don't expect them to take that show on the road now.
I do, because I think they're better players.
No, I do expect them to play better, Dill, but I don't see them going to give you 17 and 18 points in Game 3.
And I also don't think Tyler Hero coming back is going to help this team.
I think it does, Dill. He was their best scorer all season long, Dill.
Yeah, but he's coming off a major injury.
It's a broken hand. He's fine.
Yeah, but he hasn't conditioned. He hasn't done all this stuff in, a month and a half?
He's been running.
But running is different than game. Running is different than game.
Yeah, Dill, but it's not like it's like a knee or ankle injury. That's the thing.
But you use your hand every shot.
Yeah, Dill, but I would be more concerned if he's coming off an ankle or knee injury. It's just his wrist, his hand.
the ball doesn't move as much. You were talking about team ball and how the ball moves. I don't think it moves that much with Tyler Hero on the
I don't
court.
think Tyler Hero's gonna get enough minutes to see that. I think he's gonna
Then
play
I
no.
don't even think he's even going to be even a factor. If he's only going to play 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes a game, is he really
Yeah,
going to be
I
that
think
much of a factor?
I think he'd give you 12 points in 15 minutes. Yeah. Still, all you got to do is make 2 threes.
I know. I could say the same thing though about the Denver team though, with their role players.
Yeah, you could say the same thing, Dill, but
And I
Tyler,
think game one is a little deceiving. We're saying they didn't get blown out. They lost by double digits, and the fourth quarter was the only reason they didn't lose by over 20. They could have got blown out bad. So you take the fourth quarter away.
yesterday, remember they ended the game on a 12-2 run. Say if Miami ends the
Yeah,
game
but the difference is the whole game Denver was the better team. Besides that fourth quarter where because they entered the fourth quarter up by 3 or 4, something like that, and then Miami went on that run.
Miami was down 7 or 8 because remember they were down 8. Yeah, they were down 8, and then Tyler Hero goes for 10. Now they're up 2.
Tyler Hero didn't play.
I mean Duncan Robinson. Yeah, they were down 8. Duncan Robinson gives them 10 points in 2 minutes, and yeah, Miami they look back from then.
Yeah. So
Dill, I agree with you, Dill. It's just I expect Miami to be a little better in Miami, and I expect the role players of Miami to keep doing what they're doing, and I expect the role players from Denver to keep playing the way they've been playing. If not,
yeah, I agree. I think both teams will pick it up. I think we could see positive regression from both sides, and that's why I like the over. I took the over yesterday at 216. It actually went down. It went down, and I know Miami.
right?
Yeah, it's at 214 right now, and I just don't see it. I think Denver is good for 100, 105, and I also think Miami is good because Denver doesn't play all that much defense either. So
Another thing, Dill, I forgot to mention. I wrote this down in my notes. Miami, Miami in the fourth quarter shot 69% from the field. In just 19 shot attempts, they put up 36 points, the most in 25 years in the NBA Finals.
that's impressive.
That was the best shooting quarter in the NBA over the last 2 seasons, regular season and postseasons, shooting 69% in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, so game one, in the fourth quarter, Miami outscored the Denver Nuggets 30-20, by double digits. And then yesterday they outscored them by 9, 36-20, by 11, 36-25. So that's the difference in both games. That's the difference between getting blown out by 20 and then just completely losing the game. So I think if they clean up some things, I think they might cover, or the Miami might cover or lose by a bucket.
Close one, though.
It should be a close one.
We just got to go in different ways, you know?
But
and that's another thing, though. You know how you said Denver just looked better throughout. I expect them to look better throughout. They're the home team. Now I'm expecting to be a little better throughout. They're at home. They'll be more relaxed. They'll get that home cooking. I don't expect Caleb Martin to have 3 points. I also don't expect KCP to foul out with 6 points.
That's dumb. That's dumb fouling by him too yesterday.
But
he's an idiot for that.
Yeah, but there were fouls.
Of course.
Like the one when Gabe Vincent, like he dove for the ball, but KCP got his shot. Like that's a foul. Like I understand that. Like that's whack. No, it's a foul.
Yeah. No, it is. And the difference is they went to the free throw line in game 1 2 times, and then yesterday they went to the free throw line 18 or 19 times. That's a difference as well.
It was 22-19 Denver. Free throw.
I don't know. I do think it should be a good game. I think it's going to be a very good series. I think every game is going to come down, hopefully, to the wire. But we're just on the opposite sides for this, but that's what makes it great. But yeah, official plays. I'm going to be on the over, and I'm going to be on Denver. Elvis, you are on Miami. Any lean or opinion on the total?
Dill, we in Miami, I expect the defense to tighten up just a little bit. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to lean the under. I wouldn't if it's like a 104, 103 game.
All right.
It's not like 105, 102.
Right. Yeah. No. Hey, we're just on different size, but hey, that's good because one of us will be right. All I do want to say, before we get up out of here, got an NHL play for you guys. Game 2 tonight. Vegas Golden Knight leads the series. They beat the Florida Panthers. I got to continue to roll with them. I know everyone's going to be like, oh, plus 120. I got to take the Florida Panthers, another Cinderella team. They beat the Boston Bruins. They dismantled the Carolina Hurricanes. But Vegas Golden Knights are a different team. They're bringing the fight towards the Florida Panthers. And I saw very, I don't know if I would say like bulletin board message, but you know, when the Golden Knights, when they were up 5-2, they said one of the guys, I think his name was Kolser, one of the defensemen for Golden Knights, he said none of them won it. They're pretenders. None of them really won it. And I love it. And I really don't think the Florida Panthers won it. I just think they're the more talented team is the Golden Knights, and they have been the whole year. They're the least penalized team, and they're bigger than a lot of the Florida Panthers. So all that physicality and toughness that the Panthers want to do, Vegas is bringing it right back tenfold. They have the better goalie as well. So I'm going to go Vegas Golden Knights. I think they take care of business at home and go up 2-0 going to Florida. So I'm going to take Vegas Golden Knights on the money line, minus 140. Elvis, any opinion?
Still, when somebody on the opposite side says some nonsense like that, you know how the other team is going to react. So I'm going to say Florida first quarter. First period, Florida's going to jump out. I'm not going to say they're going to win the game. I like them better if they were in Florida, though, but I think they jump out first quarter, show Vegas that they do want it.
First period money line for the Florida Panthers, plus 108. There you go, Elvis. And yeah, Joey brings a good point. Yeah, this was an expansion team. I think back in 2018, yeah, the first year they ever came, they went to the Stanley Cup Finals, but lost to the Capitals, baby. So now this is their time. I think this is only like their 5th year in existence, and yeah, they're back in the Stanley Cup and they're about to win it. So Elvis, a little short episode, only baseball, basketball, and hockey to talk about. We're getting to the nitty-gritty where, oh, by the way, not to harp on it and bring up some football talk, but they said Dalvin Cook and the Jets, some interest there. Yeah. Everyone wants to play with A-Rod. That's not me talking. That's insiders.
Still, I'll give you one thing. Minnesota don't want to pay him.
Of course.
So, will you guys pay a running back who's on their dying word in the end of the career? Yeah, I did it once for Le'Veon Bell. It wouldn't shock me if you do it again, Dill.
It's going to trade him.
Look, I'm heading to the Jets as well.
We're going to trade. We got like 4 running backs. We're going to trade one of those William Knight and what? What?
Don't trade Breece Hall.
Oh, no, obviously. We're not trading. It's Breece Hall, and we're going to have Dalvin Cook, hopefully. And they said Michael Carter-Williams, he could go as well. Him and that night. Screw him. What happened?
Zeke Elliott.
He's still not signed, bro. That shit's crazy.
I try to tell you better go to the XFL, USFL.
Chill. We got to end it on that. No, you can't disrespect a legend like that. He's a legend.
I'm a realist.
Okay.
Camp starts in.
I know you saw that dive Aaron Rodgers threw today.
25 days camp start, Dill. He got 25 days to.
By the way, we will be going back to 3 days a week towards, I want to say late August, but we'll have our 2-a-days come early July, breaking down and previewing every division. We got some guests lined up, so going to be an eventful summer in the gridiron, previewing and breaking down all of these teams. So can't wait for that. But just wanted a little football talk real quick. But Elvis, that's going to do it for this Monday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys in a few days. So follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram at the Dream Wager. You can also find us on our YouTube page, youtube.com/the Dream Wager. Subscribe, like, get notified, all that good stuff. Write a review. That really helps the show grow tremendously as well. I also want to give a shout out to Josh Leclerc on the new logo for the Dream Wager, Garfield's own. So big shout out to him. It looks dope. So Guys, be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great few days. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe, be well. We'll see you guys down the road. Peace.